Hi everyone, Messy Coder back again with the next part in my menu tutorial series where we're going to make a save system which is a little bit more advanced. We're going to have like profiles, or you can create multiple profiles, save them, load them, delete them like this. Hello world. And we've created one, and now we can actually create another one. There you go. And if we go to hello world, we can actually delete it. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm really sure. There you go. And then we can have a I wasn't sure. And create another one back in again. We've got timestamps, we can load them, we can do lots of different things if we wanted. I'm also going to talk to you about the Messy Coder Community Game Jam that starts on the 6th of April and runs until the 17th. And thanks to these beautiful sponsors, we've got some amazing prizes to give away. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of prizes that are up for grabs. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a second. Hi everyone, Messy Coder back again with another Unity video. This time it's a super special one because we've got the Messy Coder Community Game Jam coming on the 6th of April 2020. That's right, 6th until the 17th. It's a long time. You don't actually have to be coding and making a game for that entire length of time if you don't want to. The whole point of it being a bit longer than a normal game jam is because a lot of people are having difficulty, obviously, in the situations that are going on right now. So whatever time you can spend, a little bit of time here and there between the 6th and the 17th gives you enough time to hopefully put together a little fun game jam project. And it is our way of saying thank you to all of these amazingly beautiful people in the community who are basically going around and helping strangers, helping their neighbours, doing absolutely fantastic things. There's so many people in the community that are actually like doing things like 3D printing face shields, sewing together masks, making clothing as well, like, you know, the protective clothing for medical professionals. They're going around buying food, delivering it to neighbours, to elderly that need it, to complete strangers, doing delivery runs. So many people doing fantastic things. We were just like, well, what can we do to help A, distract people from all the negativity, and B, give a massive thank you and some positive energy. So we've got a game jam and we've got beautiful sponsors who are coming around and giving us fantastic prizes. We've got thousands of dollars worth of prizes that we'll be giving out. And we've got some really bizarre categories that we'll be hosting and giving prizes for as well. So it's on the 6th. We had an open party on Twitch on the 3rd, a laugh, a little bit of singing and some coding. And on Monday we open the doors for you to just start playing about. It's all about teamwork, friendship, cooperation, community, and badges. You don't have to be in a team if you want to be in the game jam. You don't have to be in a team, but it's encouraged. And also, because we've got the Discord, we've got a channel in there. If you haven't got any friends, you don't know anyone, you can just pop your name in and say, look, I would like to be in a team. I don't really know how to code, but I've got ideas and I'm really eager to just start to learn and get my hands dirty. Or maybe you're an artist. You go, look, I can draw you some nice pictures. We can get together. Or maybe audio, like I can do the music or even sound effects. So put your name down, join the team if you're not going to feel comfortable doing it all yourself, or you can even be a lone wolf and do it yourself as well. I want to give a massive thank you to Fresh Meat, who is one of the mods, and he came up with this idea. It's actually Fresh's brainchild, so a massive thanks to Fresh, because without him, we wouldn't be where we are right now. You are a beautiful badger, yes you are. And here's some links to our beautiful sponsors. Click it, have a look, and just give a massive thank you and a double thumbs up to them. So the rules are easy. Just follow them. Don't be silly. You can make it on a PC and mobile, on a web. If you are going to try and make it on a Mac, do try to make like a web build. Otherwise, I won't be able to play it. I can watch videos of it and go, that looks really cool, but I won't be able to play it, and that'll be a shame. So if you are going to make a Mac build, do chuck in a web one as well, just in case. And we've got the kids screaming that they want to be in the game jam too. So maybe my kids might be playing about making something with badges as well. Right, let's pop into Unity and play about with today's tutorial. We're back inside Unity and we're just going to jump straight in and carry on where we left off in the last video, where we made a very basic, simple profile save system. It was just making one profile and it's saving in all of our stuff. Like, here it is, and here was our volumes, and all we had was volumes to worry about with. But actually in our game we're going to have even more things. We're going to have more settings like graphics, and we're going to have the profile showing where you are, where you've got in your game. So if it's an adventure game, how far you've got, this, that, and the other. And you can also save in other information such as the location, the size, all that kind of stuff of objects that you've spawned or done in your game. So anything really could go in here. So like a proper save system that we're going to make. But doing that, you need to have more than one save file, because nobody likes games where you only ever had one save file. You remember those when you were a kid on your old Amiga or Sinclair Spectrum? It wasn't a lot of fun, was it? No. So we are going to make things a little bit more clever. So I've made a profile folders and I've moved our profiles into here. And we're just going to do a little bit of changing. Every now and again, I'm just going to pause it and then do some magic. There you go, magic, just like I said. We've got 2 new fields in here for our name. So we've got a public, why have I got a public? Private string. Privat string. That's actually going to be serializable. So we've got a private string profile name, and we've got a public string profile name, and it's getting the value from that one. And down here we've got last save, and it's public. It's going to be last save, and it's returning the value last save, and it's setting actually last save as its value. And if we got down here, let's add in some lovely little methods as well. And here we've got a new one, save profile name, because we gave it a name. Now we need a method to actually be able to save it. And we're passing through here a string, and actually the default value of the string is going to be null. So if you wanted, you could pass through no parameters whatsoever, or you could pass through one in particular. And it checks and makes sure that this name is not null. If it isn't null, so it has a value, then it will set it as the profile name. Otherwise, you're in trouble. And it also will save in here the date, so it's got last save date, and it's taking now the date time for now in our local time, and it's converting that straight into a string, which means we can do some more shenanigans with it later. And actually, see this set profile, we don't need you anymore because we're going to do something else. And here we've replaced it with an onEnable that's checking to make sure that this isn't null or empty. If it has got a value, then we're going to be able to say, let's do the save profile name, and boom, there it is. It's going to call this little badger on the enable. Okay, that's pretty straightforward at that point. So I think we can save our profiles. Profiles are looking good so far. So we've still got the same stuff in before. We've got saving player prefs, prefix, audio mixer, volume controller, and down here we've got our methods that we had. So all looking good, and we've got no red squiggles, as my kids like to say. Now, when you pop back into Unity, good thing is that it can tell you if it found something else. It goes, oh no, we found a mistake. Let's double click and go in, and you can see, oh no, red squiggle. We don't need this anymore because this method doesn't actually exist. So go and delete that and save it. There you go. Everyone's happy again. Let's whoosh, go down here and back into Unity. And now when we do the magic, woof, it's disappeared. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to go here, and we could put it in the public static, or we could just create a new one. Create a C# script. I'm going to call this one Scriptable Singleton, because Unity is all over the place with people doing the, how did that just pop up? Giving tutorials on how to make Singleton scriptable objects, which are wonderful. So all we need to do is go on Google and type in Singleton scriptable object, and you'll find 1,000 different references of how to do it. So I've basically got a bit of a mishmash of other people's ones, so I'm putting a T in there because it's going to be any type of scriptable object, because that's the good thing about scriptable objects. You never really know what they're going to be until they're already made. All we do know is that they are scriptable objects, and you know that I love scriptable objects, don't you? Of course you do. And it's going to be a lot of faffing about, so instead what we're going to do, let's not forget here, namespace, and there are great tools out there on the asset store that allow you to just automate this whole namespace stuff to make your life a lot easier. If you do forget to do it, then sometimes you get yourself in a bit of bother. So we're going to put into our script here a bit of code that I'm just going to paste in. Boom. So we got our scriptable object singleton, and here we've got checking first of all that we've got our protected static, and it's coming in as a null, and we've got the public version of that protected, which is exactly the same as we were playing about up here. Remember, over here we had a private and a public. Well, it's exactly the same. We've got a protected, which is private, or a public, and these are static, so you can be calling them anywhere outside. It's not a mono behavior that has to be attached to an object. It can just be saying, hey, you, instance, yes? Well, I'm looking at you. How did you know I was here? Because you're static. Oh, no, you know where I've been hiding. Yeah, pretty much like that. You know I've been self-isolating for far too long when I'm talking to the code as though it's sentient. I am sentient, I'm static. No, you're not. Get back in the cave. Okay, so here we go. Public, and you're going to be getting something. And you don't always have to do it so simple and basic as this. It's just get, return something. You can put some really funky code in there to be able to work out what that return value is going to be. And this is a great example of it, and I love this. So it actually help us to understand more complex ways of doing these returny wernies. So first of all, is checking, making sure, hey, are you null? That's important because it's saying that I was never set before. That's the joy about Singleton. There's only me. I only exist. Set me once and then use me forever. So here we go. He's set here. He's going, I'm null. Coming in here, and I'm going to be creating an array of these T's, which could be anything. In our case, we're making profiles, but it could be any type of scriptable object. And I'm going to stick them in results, and it's going to be resources. We're going to use our resources and find all objects that are this type. If our results are none, so we are length of that, there was nothing in there, then we're basically going to kick out an error and say, hey, we couldn't find anything. And if we go over here, we say, is it more than one? Then we go, hey, we found more than one. It's supposed to be singletons. You're only supposed to have one. This is crazy. And you go, oh no, this is crazy. And actually, in our case, it's going to be the profile manager scriptable object that we're going to have in here. So we're going to have a single profile manager that is going to be loading up many profiles, but we only want one profile manager. So he's basically saying, hey, I found more than one profile manager. What am I supposed to do with it? And you go, well, actually, I don't really care that you found more than one, because I'm only going to use the first one. You go, but the first one wasn't the right one. Well, it was your own fault for having more than one. You're supposed to be a singleton. Get back in the cave. So I'm only going to grab the first one. That's why results is, I'm going to grab the 0 as the first entry on those in that array. And also, we got this hide flags. Don't unload the unused asset. And or we're saying, hey, only found none, found more than one, or otherwise, the answer is going to be I found one, isn't it? If you found none, you found more than one, the only other options we've got is that you only found one of them. So we've got here, look, you found one. In which case, exactly the same. Just grabbing that and stick it in that one as well. And then we're going to return the instance. We did all of this here, just to be able to return a value that we're going to stick in the instance. Okay, so that was it. Here is basically now saying, me, I'm going to be that. I'm that. How do I get to be that? Well, we are changing what the value of that is with all of this code, and at the end of it, we're just outputting that. It's beautiful, actually, when you think about it. It really is. The power that you have in your hands. You can do some amazing things. Alright, so let's pop back into the profiles, and now we're going to create our scriptable object that we want it to be our singleton scriptable object. So we're going to say profiles manager. There we go. Now when we open this little badger, this will be our number scriptable object that will be just one of. It's going to be unique. We're going to say you're going to live by yourself. And obviously, deep down, he's going to be sad because he's like, why is there only one of me? Why am I unique in life? And you say, well, being unique is beautiful. It's special. And you should be proud to be unique. And you go, well, I feel a little bit sad. But you go, don't be sad, because even though you are a scriptable object singleton, you're actually going to have lots of friends to play with, because you are going to contain all of those beautiful profiles, and they're going to live inside your belly. So we've got here create asset menu and menu name, and it's going to be create profile manager. Unlike normally we would go, okay, scriptable, there, scriptable object, and away we go, like we did with profiles. We're not going to do it like that. Actually, what we're saying is it's going to be a scriptable singleton. And he's a bit angry, he's got some red squiggles because he's expecting something to be returned. And we're just going to pass through the same thing as this one. There you go. Now, you might be confused into thinking, should I be passing through the profiles because that was, the scriptable objects that are going to live in here? No, don't do that. We're passing through the profile manager itself. And we don't need these starts and updates, do we? No. But what we are going to do is a little bit of magic. I'm going to pause, I'm going to paste, and hopefully you won't complain. Okay, so we put in a couple of variables that we're going to create. We've got here a private profiles variable for m_profile, and he's got a public static profiles called profile as well without the m_. And we've got a little bit of logic that checks to make sure that we do have an instance, and if it does have an instance, it's returning the instance value for this private variable. Now, the reason why we've got that in there, if you try to take that out, it's not really sure who you're talking about, and it'll go squiggly. So you need to be specific when you say, look, I'm looking for a value that lives in this instance, and this variable that lives in that instance. It's in the zone. And the same thing we're doing with this list. We're saying we have a list of profiles, and we've got a public static list of profiles. Because it's static, it needs to be grabbed from this one, and it's returning the list. We've got this method that we used to have living inside audio controller, now lives here, and all it is if you're calling this profile method, pass through a profile and it will set that as the value that we have in this private variable. And we've got a sort list, which is great because what this does is it looks through, removes any missing or null list items, because you don't want a list item to be there like number 3 in your list and it doesn't have a value. You'll just get some weird errors, and then once you remove them all, it will actually sort that list for you by date, because when you've got your saves, you want your saves to be sorted by date with the most recent save at the top. Makes it very easy. Or you could just flip those around and have the most recent save at the bottom, but that would just be weird. Okay, so we've got our profiles manager. I'm going to click save. Oop, we can pop back inside to Unity. And now we can open up our public static file that we had in the last time. And you remember, it looks lovely, but actually we've got one little thing that we're missing out. It's our namespace here. So let's just make things a bit safer and put it inside a namespace. There we go. And we also don't need this anymore, but what we do need is actually, we need a nice public static class. And I'm going to call that SO, and from in there we're going to have some methods that we're going to let everyone use as well. So I pasted in my code. We've still got here our namespace, messy our old volume that we had in here, and we've also got here 2 new methods we've got in a static class, public, so we can actually call these anywhere without being attached to anything. So we've got one which is get instance, and we've got another one which is get all instances. They look pretty identical. The only difference is that this passes through a string where it's looking for a particular name of an asset, whereas this one looks for all of the types that we've got, which we're going to be, in our case, looking for profiles. And it could be anything you want, because that's what the beauty of having this little T is that it's going to be any type, anything you want. So this one, as you're looking for, it's saying look through the asset database, which actually is all the files you have in your project, find an asset, which is another way of saying find a file, and with this name of that type. Brilliant. And then it makes a new array that happens to be the same length as all of the files it finds, and then it goes through and actually spits them into another, the output here. So AI is that, basically that iteration, that enumeration of that array. So then it returns the array, and then you go, yeah, I've got an array, thank God. And then the same thing with this one. But this one just basically says, give me everything. I don't care what its name is. I just want them all. And we're going to use those in a moment. They're going to make perfect sense to you. At the moment, it's a little bit confusing, but right now, it's going to make perfect sense. Back into Unity, we can see we kicked up an error because we added our volume in a namespace, but our old profile doesn't actually live in the same namespace. So when you going to be doing this, make sure that you are sticking everything in the same namespace so you don't have any of these errors. Then we go back into here, and we've got another one who's actually complaining as well. So this one needs the same thing, namespace messy, We should have done that in the last time, but we didn't. And saving. And now you can see here that it's actually complaining because we deleted that settings profile from before. Oh no, it says. What did you do that for? Well, the good news is that we know why, because over here we've got our Singleton, which is our profiles manager. So we pop back into audio controller. We can actually just replace that with our scriptable object Singleton, and now our settings live inside our scriptable object Singleton. We click save, pop back over here. Hopefully all of the red squiggles have gone. Let it compile. Let it compile. Oh, and we've got some new ones here in the messy sliders. It's exactly the same thing. It's going to squiggle and complain about them. So we go into here and up here, don't forget to put it in your namespace. Namespace messy. And then down at the bottom. Boom. Now if you weren't going to do that, you'd have to do like messy dot profiles manager, which you don't really need once you have them all synced inside your namespace. Okay, so I think we got rid of all of the red squiggles here. Again, let's pop back inside, click clear, wait for it to finish compiling, and now everyone's happy. Brilliant. So now we've got, if I delete this profile, I'm going to delete you. Now we've got our scriptable object Singleton, and we've got our profiles and profile manager scriptable objects. So if we're going to just right click here, click create, and then say click create a profile manager. This should used to be one of them. Hello. Now if I create another one, create profile manager, goodbye. Now we've got two. Now if I click play, okay, and let's just get out of there. See here, multiple instances of Messy's profile manager found. I will take the first one I can find. It shall be mine. There you go. See, it doesn't like it. Now you could get really aggressive. We could get really aggressive and actually delete that second one from even existing, depending on how crazy you want to go. Now this is going to be really aggressive, so we're sticking in system.io, and then down here we're going to make another method. So it's going to be a public static. We're going to say it's going to be a void and delete item. How's that? And we're going to pass through t squarey results, and boom. This is going to be very aggressive, and honestly I don't entirely recommend doing this, but hey, let's just do it for the sake of it. So we're going to do a for loop in there. We're going to say int I equals 1 because we want to save at least the first entry, and we're going to say it for as long as results length it's going to be less than the results length, and then we're going to just iterate through that. Whoops, plus plus. Okay, like normal. It's just a normal for loop. And in here we're going to say let's have a string path, and we're going to have a string here for our meta path. Okay, so we've got two strings that we're going to be putting in. They are going to be checking the asset database in the Unity editor for get asset path, and then we're going to be returning the result of I, and we're going to have a meta path, which is exactly the same thing. We're just replacing the file type of asset with asset.meta. Okie dokie. And now we're just going to check to see if these exist, and then we're going to delete them. It's as simple as that. So here we've got check to see if this one exists, file.exists, does it, the path, then delete it. Check to see if this one exists, meta path. If it does, then delete it. Very simple. And then we just need to tidy this up at the end. After our for loop, we've got here checking that we are in the editor. If so, let's just do a refresh so everything is nice and tidy. And I really don't like, I know you're supposed to leave it there, but I don't like it like that, so I like to put it in. But I understand why it's like this. It just upsets me to do it like that. And if we go over to here, we're going to say delete item and passing through results. Now, as I say, this isn't sorted in any way. So the first one it gets is going to be the one it keeps. So if it finds one called a potato, it will save it. If it finds B potato and C potato and D potato, it will delete them. It's very aggressive because maybe you don't want to delete them. But I'm just saying, if you really wanted a true singleton, the only one, like the Highlander, there can only be one, then this is what you would do. You would find one and delete the others. Oh, yeah, it is really aggressive. Let's pop into Unity and show what we mean. So here's goodbye, hello, and let's put a few of these in. Okay, now you've got quite a few, and I'm going to click play. We'll get an error log turning up. Here it is. It's complaining. Why are we so zoomed out? Okay, that's better. Let's put scale down to, okay, so best as our scale can be. Let's get out of that. And you see we've got this error, but now there's only one, and that was goodbye, because that was the first one it could find. And now if we actually create another one, profile manager, a lovely day to have an indoor picnic. Okay, and we click play. Which one is it going to keep? It kept a lovely day. We used to have an indoor picnic. And if we just created another one and called it underscore potato. Oh no, I've got an ear. Okay, it's going angry with me. Potato, and then click play. It's kept our potato. You see, because it's found that one first. Deleted the other one. Very aggressive. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way, but hey, you've got the choice. So I'm just going to pop back here. I'm going to keep this method here because I like it. It's pretty. I'm just going to delete that. Boom. In there. You know, or we could just comment it out and put a comment saying, this is very aggressive. Maybe we should keep the oldest one. Question mark, question mark. And we have that here. Maybe we should keep the oldest one. Just an idea. Maybe we could have this as a 0 and then find the one that is the oldest one and then do it that way. But, or maybe not. Oh, hang on, back down to 1, not 9. Or maybe not, you know, it's up to us. So there you go. That's our scriptable object singletons that we're using for our profile saving. So we basically got our profile manager that all of our profiles are going to live in, but there can be only one. Brilliant. And no, I was about to sing, but I'm not going to. Alright, so if you do like these videos, want to see more, click on the big juicy red subscribe button down below. We're going to do the next video straight after. I'm going to upload them hopefully in the same day. That would just be freaky. Going to do one, plamo, and the next one, kablam. And then we can just burst through these and make our wonderful menu, because we could even use it for the Messy Game Jam. Don't forget, Messy Game Jam is going to be starting on the 6th of April, finishing on the 17th. We're going to have an after party on the 18th of April 2020, and it's our way of saying thank you to everyone in the community for doing these amazing things, like 3D printing face shields, stitching together masks and clothing for medical personnel to be, or even picking up food and delivering them to your neighbours. Everyone's doing such amazing stuff with COVID going on, and you know there's a lot of people out there who are basically taking advantage of this situation, but there's even more people out there doing amazing things to keep everyone safe and well. And you can do your part without even spending a penny. All you need to do is stay at home. That's right, just stay at home, start playing about, making games, watching movies, writing a book, drawing pictures, cooking, singing, looking out your window, clapping your hands, and generally keeping your society safe by doing the right thing. So stay at home, make some games, click like on that video, and I'll see you all very soon. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now, and down below there's that big juicy subscribe button, and right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.